Action.
Action. Yes, very good. So, all our actions, they have reactions. It is not that we do something and it doesn't lead anywhere. Sometimes, we might think like that. We do something, we try very much, and then we don't get the result of our work. We want to be famous, or we want to accomplish some project, or this and that. And it becomes a failure. So we think, why have I wasted so much time? I've wasted my energy doing something, and now I don't have what I wanted. So I wasted my time. So it is not so, actually. Any action produces reaction. While executing that work, let's say you want to be a famous musician, so you have to learn how to play guitar. So while you're performing that practice, then you have to eat something. So there are other activities to maintain your existence. And while we maintain our existence, we kill. We kill, actually. Believe it or not, but we kill so many living entities. Sometimes, people, they become vegetarian, and they become very proud of being vegetarian. They criticize those who eat meat. You're killing the animals. This is very immoral. The animals are suffering in these conditions, and you're supporting the meat industry. Stop this. But vegetarian is as much of a killer than a meat eater, because he's killing the plants, he's killing the vegetables. And even if you pluck out the apple from the tree and you say, oh, well, see, the tree goes on living, I just take an apple. In that apple, there's so many living entities. So you have to kill living entities. This is mentioned in the Vedic literatures as Jivasya Jiva Jivanam. This is the definition of material existence. I live because I kill others. In a small scale or a big scale, it doesn't matter. Recently, I had a discussion with a nice Buddhist boy. So, a very serious practitioner of Buddhism. Very serious. And he actually mentioned, I asked him towards the end of the conversation, I said, what brought you on this path of self-realization? So he said, freedom. I said, oh, very good. And he finished the sentence, from death. Freedom from death. I want to be free from death. So actually I applauded this. Very good. You have taken a spiritual practice for the right reason. Not to become famous, not to become popular, not to get something material. So his name was Jerome. Jerome, he challenged, because I was explaining our philosophy. Our philosophy is based on, it was mentioned in the purport also, based on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is the topmost theistic science. You can have a look. And the topic of the Bhagavad Gita is that Arjuna is a soldier and he's just about to start a big fight, big war. But all of a sudden he becomes very compassionate and he's wondering, well, why should I kill? This is immoral, this is unethical. And he gives up his weapons and he sits down on his chariot, all despondent. So at that time, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, when we say Krishna, we mean the Supreme Godhead. He explains actually that we're not this body. This is the first teaching of yoga. You are not this body. We're not man, woman, ugly, beautiful, tall, small, old, or young. These are bodily designations. These things are keeping us apart. We have nothing to do with the body. We're just passing through. We're actually eternal spirit soul. So Krishna explains that, yes, you thinking, I should not kill. I should not kill. I should not indulge in this war. But from the eternal platform, spiritual platform, even if that person is killed, his soul remains. His soul is eternal. Deinosmin yatadi komaram yovanam jara tathadi hantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. In the past, Krishna explains very logically, you all had the bodies of little children, right? Little girls, little boys, we all had a body like that. But where is that body now? Can anyone say? That body you had as a small girl or a boy, where is it now?
It's changed.
No. No. It's gone. When you say it changed, what changed? The childhood body changed? Or the teenager's body changed? Which body you mean? When you say it, what do you mean by it?
It's like in general, like the body, like just changes constantly.
But which body? Because
like the little, to older.
the little body changed.
Yeah.
No. It's a different body. The childhood body is no longer here. When you say it changed, let's say, okay, I move this thing here. So I changed the arrangement in this room. So is the book finished? No, I just replaced it. It's still there. Right? But with the childhood body, all the cells are exchanged. Not even a single cell remains. You see? The baby eats something, then he goes to the toilet, and that same foodstuff, it comes out as stool. And in this way, in due course, the whole body is exchanged. You see? So that childhood body is completely gone. The body you have right now is a completely different body. Krishna, he compares the body to a dress, a different dress. So, today you put a gray t-shirt or a blue t-shirt or a green t-shirt. Tomorrow you're going to put a yellow t-shirt. Right? But you are still the same person. You are still the same Andreas or Stuart. You're not changed. If you say that because I changed my t-shirt from gray to yellow, that means I am changed. That is foolishness. You are the same. But, I tell you why you made a mistake. Because at this point, we think that I am the body. And that's why I mistakenly think that I have changed. I have changed. But I'm not changed. I'm still the same person who is observing the bodily changes of a small child. I'm getting a small child's body, I have a grown-up body, I have beard. Before I didn't have beard, now I have beard. So many changes. So I remain. I am the soul. This is the definition of the soul. The soul is completely transcendental to what is going on with the body. Soul is actually the beautiful in the body. The soul makes the body beautiful. As soon as the soul leaves the body, the same body, beautiful lady, Claudia Schiffer, I don't know if she's still beautiful, no longer that body attracts us. The same body is there. The same face, the same bones, same muscles, same lips, eyes, beautiful, everything. But something is missing. The soul. the same beautiful body is actually very scary. If, for example, Andreas now, he leaves his body, his soul leaves the body. This atmosphere here, a nice atmosphere, spiritual atmosphere we have here, changes immediately. There's panic. My God, he died. Andreas died. Call the ambulance, this and that. The neighbors will come. What happened? The police comes, the ambulance, the neighbors looking. So much disturbance just because the soul leaves the body. You see? But Krishna says, no, don't be disturbed. Just like you change the t-shirt from gray to yellow, you're still the same, you're not disturbed. Similarly, the soul, or shall we say, a person who has a firm or fixed realization of the soul, dhira. Dhira means a sober person. He is not bewildered by such a change. So this is what Krishna explains to Arjuna. Don't be disturbed by this death. This is sentiment. Sentiment. If I cry over my t-shirt, oh, there's a stain on my t-shirt, and I lament the whole day. What's the big deal? You just change the t-shirt and you go on with your duties. You don't stop your duties just because there's a little tiny dirt on your t-shirt. Right? So this Buddhist boy, he challenged, he said, your doctrine encourages violence. I cannot accept this. I cannot accept that Krishna says to Arjuna, do your duty, you're a soldier, you go and kill, and it's okay. This is very bad doctrine. You, on the pretext of spiritual life, you are committing the worst horrendous activities that one can imagine. This is very bad. He was very disturbed. So I challenged him back. I said, you are also killing. You killing the plants? There's a spirit soul in every single living entity, every living cell. Just when you boil water even, let's say you don't eat any vegetables, you're so strict about non-violence. You don't kill any vegetables, you just take hot water. Even while boiling the water, the bacteria are being killed. Many millions. Imagine. So then he said, no, I do not accept that there is a spirit soul in every living cell. I don't accept there is a soul in an apple. So then I challenge, what is your definition of the soul? How do you know that there's consciousness in a particular form? From our scriptures, we can understand very clearly that there's a consciousness in that particular body by the symptoms. We cannot see the soul by our naked eye because our eyes are material. Our eyes are also changing, right? The eyes are also going through different changes. The cells the molecules are going on. There's a constant movement. If you took your eye, you studied under the microscope, you will see there's a constant flow of things. Things are going on. So that is also changing. That is also material. My eye is material. But the soul does not change. So how can you see the soul, which is unchanging, with the instrument, with the sense, the eye, which is ever changing? You follow the logic. That is not possible. You have to purify your eyes. You have to get the spiritual eyes in order to see the soul. But nevertheless, you can understand the presence of the soul in a particular form by symptoms. By symptoms. Just like you're walking down the street and you see a house and there's a smoke coming out of the chimney. Right? So you cannot see the fire directly with the eye. But still, you can understand there's a fire by the symptom of the smoke. Similarly, the presence of the soul in the house of body can be perceived by 6 symptoms. Birth, growth, creating byproducts, children, dwindling, getting old, shrinking, and death. If a particular form, particular body manifests these 6 symptoms, we can understand that there's a spirit soul in that particular body. See, just take a tiny little seed, tiny little mosquito, let's say. The mosquito takes birth at a certain point, right? It grows. It creates byproducts, especially in summer. There's so many mosquitoes everywhere, right? Dwindles and dies. And you can make a nice 747 Boeing, big airplane, right? But you cannot make a mosquito. See, the Boeing is going on when there's a pilot, some direction, right? But the mosquito, he can independently fly wherever he wants. You don't need to control him. Such a very high-tech technology, high-class technology in a mosquito, Krishna manifested. Krishna is the creator of all the living bodies, everything. Everything in this material nature is designed by Krishna, has different energies. So you cannot make such a thing in a laboratory by combination of chemicals. See, this book or this book stand I can make. I can take wood, can put it together, that's it. That's easy. But this stand will never have tiny little stands, byproducts, little children. It will never grow. At one time, one day I come back to the temple room, there's a big stand. No, it will remain like this. And potentially, if there's something broken about this part, I can replace it. I can replace every single part in this book stand. And theoretically, this form can keep the shape forever. Right? But if a tiny little mosquito dies, there's no way how you can make him alive again. By the combination of material elements, by manipulating the material chemicals, like the scientists, they say, life is simply combination of chemicals. So if you're a real scientist, then you prove it. That you cannot do. So please do not speak so boldly that life is combination of chemicals. It is nonsense. No. Life is present in the body on account of the presence of the soul. And the soul manifests through these 6 symptoms, consciousness. You see? So he could not say anything. This gentleman I was talking to, he could not say anything. He could not argue. I said, you are criticizing Arjuna for killing in war on behalf of Krishna. This was also not a nonsense war like it is now for oil and for so many greedy nonsense politicians. This was a religious fight. A religious fight. This party, the Kurus, Arjuna was fighting this army. They have unauthorizedly taken over the throne, taken over kingdom. That you cannot do. Everyone has his particular quota given to him by Krishna. Particular property, everything, foodstuff, everything is given by Krishna. That was explained actually last week. We're discussing this mantra, Ishava Samidam Sarvam. And everything is the property of Krishna. And you have your quota given to you, so you can enjoy very nicely. There's no problem. God has given, the fruits, the grains, the water. Why they're charging for the water? Why are they charging the Hydro-Quebec? Why are they charging for the water? They're not the proprietor of the water, Hydro-Quebec. At one point, they have come and they've stolen the water from Krishna. Krishna has given the water to everyone. But Hydro-Quebec, they took over the water supplies and now they're charging you. See? Isn't this cheating? Why are you paying the bill to a thief? Can you answer? It belongs to someone. It belongs to someone. The water. You can't just say, well, it was just there. Nobody was taking charge, so now I take it, and now I... No. It was there for all living entities. Not for you, Mr. Hydro-Quebec. was not given to you. You have exploited it, and now you're exploiting everyone. You took over, and now you're charging. You see? So they have done like that. They have took over the kingdom, and they were harassing the Pandava brothers, Arjuna and the rest. So Arjuna was fighting righteously, not out of greed, righteously. To defend a good cause, there should be fights. If someone comes now here and attacks Andres, sorry for picking on you all the time, just remember your name. If someone attacks Andres, isn't it our duty to go and fight? What are you doing? You're nonsense. Andres didn't do anything to you. Why are you attacking? It's our duty. And if we say, no, I am spiritual. Oh, I respect everyone. See, Andres is sitting, I respect that. Someone is kicking on his face, I respect that too. See, equal to everyone. Nonsense. This is nonsense. So I said that you were condemning Arjuna for fighting a big war, but I condemn you for killing tiny little bacteria or tiny little vegetables. Whatever you're doing, you have to kill. Walking, if you walk down the street, ants are being killed. So there's the famous example, you probably know Alexander the Great, this big emperor. So he was conquering India, he was a big conqueror, and while in battle, there was some thief, they caught some thief. So they brought the thief in front of Alexander the Great to judge him. In previous times, the king was also the judge. So Alexander the Great, he said, so what do you have to say for your defense? You have stolen, now what do you have to say? So the thief, he says, you have no right to punish me. Why? I am a small thief, you are a big thief. But thief you are nevertheless. So Alexander, that's why he was called the Great, because gentleman, he admitted, yes, he's speaking the truth. He's stolen one little tiny something, jewel or whatever, and I have stolen the land from these people. So he released him, actually. Alexander the Great, he released him. So in the same way, you might say, oh, you're killing a man, you're killing an animal, you're killing this person, you're fighting this cause, and this is evil, and this is good, and so on and so on. But ultimately, it's all wrong. It's all karma. See, sometimes people say good karma. Go to the Hare Krishnas, it's a good karma. But karma is not good. Karma, you have given a very good definition, is action. Action is neither good, neither bad. Action is action, and action binds one to the reaction. So, even pious activities, good deeds, they're actually not good deeds. Because they bind you to take another birth in order to get the result of your pious activities. See, someone who's rich, someone who's beautiful, someone who's very educated, these are all the results of one's previous good karma. Someone is charitable, someone is religious, someone is God conscious. These are all very good karmas, by which one get a property, money, beauty, and so on in the future. It is not by accident someone is rich. Sometimes people become envious. Oh, he's a rich man. Oh, he has everything. Since birth, he's rich. He has, I have to work very hard, and he has done nothing. What kind of justice is this? Oh, God. So, no. He has worked in his previous life. That you cannot see. He's worked very hard. So we should not be envious.